What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
You don't know what that order is, Mr. Trash. I'd show you, but I'm too old. I'm too tired. I'm too fucking blind. If I were the man I was 5 years ago, I'd take a flamethrower to this place.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth.
Does anyone know what day it is? Nobody does, because when a holiday falls on a weird day, you don't know if it's a Monday, you don't know if it's a Tuesday, but it's a Wednesday. This is Tim. Let's get off my lawn. The bad ramblings of a Gen Xer. Oh, got a lot of fun stuff to talk about today. And as always, the truth shall always set you free. Want to welcome in the small YouTube audience we have right now, because we have a new YouTube channel up as well. We're going to be simulcasting the video of our podcast, starting in the weeks to come. So we're gonna just post the audio up for a little bit till we get the video portion taken care of. It's, you know what, it's just been a weird couple weeks, and sometimes you have to wonder, are there aliens among us? Says the humongous from the Road Warrior. And we usually do a Conspiracy Wednesday, but we want to just talk about a lot of weird stuff that's been going on. But there's one thing I want to start off something right away, because it always freaks me out.
Inside the cage. Cage goes in the water. You go in the water. Shark's in the water. Our shark.
A school of 50 sand sharks this weekend were spotted off Long Island Beach Tuesday morning. Now, the movie Jaws always freaked me out from day one. I think I've seen that movie about 9,746 times. I love that movie. It's probably in my top 5 movies. And one day we'll do a podcast about what Tim's top 5 movies are. But it's just weird that you had a school of sharks, not one, not two. School is in session, not 3, but 50. I was going to see if I go all the way up to 49 and then stop. Just trawling the beach. Now, this was the same beach that a boy was bitten not too long ago. And this school of sharks was seen about 200 yards off of Robert Moss Beach. And this was around, I believe, like 8 a.m. Now, this is what you think of Alex Kendrick, who got killed by the shark in the first Jaws. And this was before the beach opened, before the busy 4th of July holiday. So did they bring out Quint to have the sharks killed? No, I don't think they did. But obviously the beach was closed for swimming until the lifeguards came on duty. This could have been bad. This could have been a situation where if the swimmers had been out and you have 50 sand sharks swimming along. Now, if you take a look at these sharks, I wish we had the video portion up right now on YouTube. These things are pretty scary looking. I mean, it's not as scary as Bruce, which was the shark from Jaws. But this was pretty scary looking. Now, a few hours after they saw these sharks, just 3 miles away at Fire Island, that's when a 15-year-old boy who was surfing, when a shark took a bite out of his foot, or out of his feet, I believe it was. He swam to shore, bystanders helped him. But this is this thing, you know, and I love it. I don't love it because it's nothing to love. But then they have, it was literally like, if you watch the video, it's literally like a scene out of Jaws, where they have all the police boats scanning the shark areas and moving through and going through. And it's just, there's so much weirdness right now in this world that you don't know where to start. And then you think to yourself, has there been an alien invasion? Is this the invasion of the body snatchers? That these things are happening and we are all witness to this? I love how some people are like, well, you know, this is the end of days. I'm not going to go crazy like that and say it's the end of days. But I am going to say it's pretty darn crazy that you see these things and you wonder to yourself, what the hell is going on here? I don't know. Does anyone know? And then you get back into just the normal life. And to me, the normal life is just you see everything that's going on. And one of the things that I thought was weird, and this is why I'm still thinking maybe there's aliens. The White House reports signals openness to manipulating sunlight to prevent climate change. Solar radiation modification. People of Earth, Mars needs women. Offers the possibility of cooling the planet significantly on a timescale of a few years, reports claims. Did anyone not see The Day After Tomorrow? Lawrence Fishburne did a movie. I can't remember what the name of the movie was, but it's gonna hit me as I'm talking. And this movie basically was they tried to do weather modification, and they turned the entire planet into an ice age. And once again, like I said, these people in this movie were trying to control the weather. We're trying to stop global warming. And what did they do? They signaled an ice age. I don't like the premise of screwing around with people will tell you you're already screwing around with the environment. People will tell you that already. That's what we're doing. Oh, the movie's called The Colony. That's right. This was back in I think 2013 or 14. And what happens was they built a climate modification towers. And it's funny because this was, hold on, let me find the synopsis here. Quick, here we go. By 2045, humans have built a climate modification tower to control the warming climate due to climate change. The machines break down, and one day it begins to snow and doesn't stop. The remaining humans live underground in bunkers to escape the extreme cold, and also had a bunch of things to do with cannibals and all that. But you're sitting there talking about a willingness. You want to save the environment by altering the environment. Scientists will tell you that climate change happens every year. If you go back even to the 70s, first it was global warming. And then we were all going to die in 10 years. Then it was global cooling. And then we were all going to die in 10 years. Then it was global warming brought on by global cooling, which we're all going to die in 10 years. And then it's climate change. So when Al Gore couldn't get his way, he just shifted. He just pivoted and shifted. And I love it because they called this geoengineering. This is from the University of Oxford. And according to the report titled Congressional Mandate Report on Solar Radiation Modification, these types of geoengineering methods, the Biden administration is looking into the stratospheric aerosol injection, SAI, and marine cloud brightening. Okay, listen, all this sounds bad to me. None of this sounds good to me. And they're saying this, the focus on atmospheric approach also follows with their greater near-term feasibility related to space-based approaches. What are they going to do? Shoot missiles into the sun? I think there was an episode of The Simpsons, and I think it was a Halloween episode, when Mr. Burns decides to block out the sun. So he gets this, he creates this big, like a sphere that, on a stick that goes up and blocks the sun and puts all of Springfield into darkness. And everyone basically goes crazy. They're going, and I love it because you have cities that are going after coal and wood burning pizzerias, fireplaces in New York. They're saying that if you have a coal or a wood fire pizzeria in New York, you're either you have to change it out, you're going to get fined. And they're going after the dryers, gas dryers. They're going after gas stoves. They're going after air conditioning. But to top it off now, like I said, we are going after the fact that we are going to cool the planet on our own. And then you go into other stories. And this is why I do think there's aliens among us. San Francisco's reparations, I can't talk. San Francisco reparation panelist calls straight men are serial killers. Now, San Francisco, a couple of years back, went out and Gavin Newsom had a panel appointed to see what they can do in reference to reparations. Now, a member of this San Francisco panel said that on slavery reparations committee blasted white males as a danger to the society. White supremacy is ingrained in their DNA, she says. Now, Nicolette Cunningham. Now, I think it's funny. She works for a company that helps adopt people. Says straight white men are abusive. Straight men are serial killers. Invasion of the body snatchers, man. If you take a look at her picture, and I don't judge people by the way they look, but she looks like a nut. She truly does look like a nut. They have the most, I've watched these shows, the most serial. I love it because this is her. And I don't know who was on this panel, but I was looking at her resume, and I'm not going to go through her resume. She shouldn't even have been on this panel. But this is her thought process. They have the most, I've watched these shows, the most serial killers. Straight white men are the ones who are shooting up schools, right? Huh. Not really. Last time I checked, we had one shooter over in Denver who killed 2 children in a Catholic school, and we still don't see that manifesto anywhere. We just had a gunman in Philadelphia a couple days ago. Left 5 people dead, who happens to be a BLM activist who wore women's clothing. And if you go on this person's website, it's Kim Brady. I think that's how you say her. Kim Brady is her first name. He's posting pictures of himself wearing women's tops, bras, earrings, long braided hair, and this was 3 months before the shooting. I find it funny though. Again, I don't find it funny. I gotta stop using that phrase. I find it interesting. Why don't we go with that? And I've said this before. You can always tell if there is a mass shooting, if there is a crime. You could tell who did it. You really can. It's very easy to tell. Because the news coverage starts like, the news coverage is like this. Welcome to CNN News. Breaking story, a white devil went and shot up a department store, killing all these innocent people. Now, if it's a person of color, if it's someone from the LBGQ257-14-6 community to the left power, the coverage is this. Breaking news from CNN. Someone shot up a mall. And in another story, kittens. They never want to talk about it. Because it doesn't fit the narrative. It doesn't fit what they believe in. I believe the report was out of the last 7 of the 8 last mass shootings have been done by people that are non-binary or transgender, or of a minority group. But this woman is telling us that all white males are serial killers because of the fact that is the research she has done by watching crime TV. Now, listen, I love crime TV. I think some of these crime TV things are great. I think I get concerned that it gives people ideas of what to do. And then she also went on to say, she slammed white men for not backing reparations. They are not doing that. So if anything, they pose more of a harm than support and help. And then you get to remember their ancestors are the ones who are standing out there Sunday, best watching black people hang and burn. Listen, racism is bad. There's racism there's racism everywhere. There's no reason to believe there's not. There's racism everywhere. Every group has racist tendencies. Blacks, white, Chinese, Hispanics, aliens, people of Earth. Mars needs women. See, that could be a subliminal message. But it doesn't mean that you should all of a sudden get financial restitution for something that you had no part of, that your parents had no part of, that your grandmother had no part of, that maybe your great-great-great-grandmother had part of, but you shouldn't get reparations for that. Sorry. And I always brought this up before. What about the people who didn't live here?